From Learfield on the Mustangs Sports Network, this is the Pony Express Show with head coach Rhett Lashley, presented by SMU Cox School of Business, your ally for life. Visit coxgrad.com to learn more. Now at Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue, here is your host, Rich Phillips.
Good evening. Welcome to another week of the Pony Express Show with Rhett Lashley here at Ozona Grill and Bar. By the way, our final show that's scheduled for this football season with the holiday with Thanksgiving next week, we will not have a show next Wednesday. So take note of that. Let's get all our important details done here tonight as the Mustangs get ready to play at Virginia on Saturday. We'll have Coach along here in a few moments. Got a couple of guests. And first off, let's start with our guest sitting beside me, Mustangs wide receiver / running back / punt returner, Roderick Daniels Jr.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
We were just sitting up here talking about it before we came on. This is it.
Yeah, this is the last one.
For you, this is it. You know, and you have no redshirt year.
No.
You don't have a COVID year.
No, sir.
You're going to be playing in your 49th college football game Saturday. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. It went by fast, very fast. Like I just started my first one.
A Duncanville guy, too, of course. What does it mean for you to get to stay home and play your college football here?
It was a blessing to be able to, be from Dallas and show to all the kids growing up in Dallas it's okay to stay in Dallas and play big-time football here. And it just shows for what we've done these past few years, and hopefully we can do it again this year. We
talked a month or so ago. I think I had you on the radio pregame, and you did have a punt return touchdown this year. It was against TCU. And for a Dallas guy – I bet that makes it even that much more satisfying, doesn't it?
Yeah, that definitely was a special one. That's probably one of my favorite ones of all of college. That was definitely a special one.
You've worn a lot of hats here, wide receiver, running back, punt returner. You've done some kick returning, too. What do you like best?
Just football in general. I don't have a favorite position or nothing like that. I'll just be happy to play football. I'll be on the field, anywhere on offense, anywhere to help us make plays and put us in a position to win. I'm willing to do it.
Defense? You got any defense?
Yeah, I got probably a little corner, a little experience.
Coach keeps joking he's going to put you at guard one day.
Yeah, he said he was going to do it. I'm just waiting for the opportunity. I can't wait. I've been waiting on my kick steps.
Well, the Florida State game back in September, it's kind of when you became, for a while at least, a full-time running back, even more so mid-game, too, as Brashard Smith got dinged up, went to the locker room. What did you have to do to kind of prepare for that switch where they put – I mean, you were on the depth chart at running back eventually.
Yeah, I just knew that our team, we needed more people in the running back room because of the injuries with LJ and Brashard. And I had experience at playing running back, so it's not really like a hard thing. It wasn't hard for me to learn because I practiced at it all week, and I was kind of prepared to be in the position to know the plays and everything. And I just knew once I got the ball, make plays and do whatever I can to put us in a position to win that game. And when I didn't have the ball, to be able to make an impact however I could.
What'd you play more of growing up before college?
I was a running back my whole life to my sophomore year of high school. Then I went to receiver. And towards the end of my high school career was kind of now here. I was almost everywhere, running back, receiver, quarterback. So it's kind of the same thing.
Quarterback?
Yeah, a little bit.
Get you back there too, huh? Now, the reverse of things, when you made the switch to running back kind of full-time, at Duke, Jake Bailey goes down during the game, and you had to move back primarily to wide receiver in that game. And is it right you had not even been practicing many reps at wide receiver?
No, it was a few weeks, probably almost a month. I haven't played receiver for a while.
But it's like riding a bike, right?
Yeah, once you learn it, you got it, and you see it every day. Even though I wasn't practicing receiver, I'll still pay attention to the receivers, during practice, when they're in the Indy, or we doing certain drills. And, once you run that route so many times or you've been doing it for so many years growing up, it's just riding a bike all over again. And I just was put a receiver, and I made a play, and Kevin gave me a chance, and then I just did what I could do.
Yeah, you had 2 catches for just 153 yards that night, including an 81-yard touchdown in that game. Just made a little play, right?
Yeah.
That had to be one of the most surreal games for all of you guys, a game in which you made so many mistakes were made. You probably should have lost with 6 turnovers in the game. What was that game like for you guys with how it unfolded in the end with the overtime win?
It was a big game for us, and I'm kind of glad it happened whenever it did happen because that was our first big adversity game where we probably we really should have lost, but we stayed together all the way to the end. And that's because lastly, main focus is always finish no matter what the situation is. And we put our head down and finished, and Jafari came in clutch at the end of the game when he blocked the field goal.
All right, you had a touchdown run a couple weeks ago in the Pitt game. It looked like it was an option play left, and it winds up it's an end around for you. And they jumped the play. You got shoved all the way back to the 15. How the heck did you get in the end zone on that one?
The first guy, I kind of seen it before Kevin pitched it to me. So I was like, if I go back a little bit, why now? Because we always talk about worrying about the end, rushing upfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I got past him. And the second guy, I seen he was running too fast. So I was like, if I can stop, I just got to deal with the last guy at the goal line. And I'll figure that out whenever I get there. And when I got there, I just went up and then made sure I got in and made sure I scored a touchdown.
You went with the hurdle move, huh?
Yeah.
Have you done that to anybody before?
I did in high school in our state game one time.
All right.
That probably was the last time I did it.
And then last week, you had a touchdown on a screen pass out to the left. First off, did you think you were going to get the ball? It looked like Kevin was going to run.
Nah, we practiced that play, and he basically sold it perfectly for me and helped me get open because he could have kept it and ran, but he held it long enough so the nickel can choose me or him, and he chose him, and he threw it to me, gave me a chance, and I went and made a play.
And I thought you were going to get your head torn off on that. That was a high hit you took through that
Yeah.
one. 7 straight wins here now, 9-1 on the year. What's the season been like for you guys and for the whole team? Has to be kind of a dream season, I would think.
Yeah, I won't say a dream season yet, but it's been fun. Like, it's been an adventure, going through what we've been going through every week, every day at practice, starting all the way back in January, all the way through spring workouts in the summer. Like, we're not surprised that we're here. A lot of people are surprised, but we know the work we put in. We know we deserve to be here, and we know we deserve to play in this conference, and we're showing everybody that we do.
You guys had Kevin starting for you at the end of last year, those last 2 games, and took over in week 4 as the full-time starter this year. How much have you seen Kevin Jennings grow in this offense and as a quarterback?
I see him grow a lot, especially from the first day when I met him and seen him. I played him in high school, and I was like, this guy good. Like, we beat him bad, but it was kind of like a mismatch almost. But I knew, I was like, this guy, he going to be very good. And they went on and they won state, and that was the first time Sock had won state in, like, I don't know how long, like 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
So when he came to SMU and he got his chance to play last year, I wasn't surprised by how he came in and took over the offense and just led us to a championship. And hopefully he do the same thing this year.
Hopefully so. I also mentioned your punt returning. You had the touchdown against TCU this year. You had one last year too. But can that be a frustrating job? Because, I mean, what are you going to get, 12, 15 attempts maybe in a season to run back a punt?
Yeah, you could say frustrating, but it's kind of a mind thing. Like, I feel like that's more of a privilege to be back there. Some people don't like being back there, but I feel as if Coach Lashley, my teammates, and everybody trust me to be back there, that means, like, they definitely believe in me, so I definitely take that into consideration. They trust me being back there on those plays because that's, like, a very hard position to play, probably one of the hardest to play in football, and I'm very thankful that they do believe in me to play that position.
How quickly can you make the decision if this is returnable or if you've got to fair catch it or get out of the way?
I feel like the decision, like, is already made, just, like, off of how you feel on that play. Sometimes your mind could be made up, and that's when you almost make mistakes because it wasn't supposed to be that. Or sometimes you just got to go off of how you feel, how much pressure you have, how the ball is, the depth of the ball, or the hang time. It's a lot to go into that. It's like a million thoughts in, like, 3 seconds.
Yeah. That's true. Every guy wants to return every one,
yeah,
right?
most definitely.
Yeah, Coach said he'd never seen one you didn't want to return that was kicked to you. You've kind of alluded to it here, but there are some big things on the horizon, of course. A win Saturday clinches a spot in the conference championship, and there's even more down the road that is definitely possible. Rhett and I have talked a lot about how focused you guys are, but does your mind ever wander with some of the big picture that lays ahead for the team?
Yeah, most definitely. It definitely wonders. It wouldn't be, like, human if it didn't. So we definitely think about it, but we try to keep our head down and just take it a week at a time because that's all you really can control is what you do that week, and that'll control what you have the following week. So we don't worry about next week and worry about what we got to do this week. That's going to take care of everything going forward.
All right, what do we got to do this week, Saturday afternoon playing at Virginia? What do you know about the Cavaliers going in?
Make sure we do whatever we have to do to make sure we come out with a W, whether that's offense, defense, special teams. We all stay together, go on the road and get a big win, and so we can get a spot in the ACC championship.
Let's do it. I like that plan. Roderick Daniels Jr., thanks for joining us on the show here tonight.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for having me.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing you again on Saturday afternoon. This is the Pony Express Show with Rhett Lashley here tonight at Ozona Grill and Bar. You can ask questions of the coach on our Ask the Coach segment a little bit later. You can submit questions with our staff on site. Also, make sure that you get your name entered in the bucket back there that Nate has at that back table there, because at the end of the show, this autographed football, autographed by Rhett Lashley, will be given away to one lucky winner out of that. So be sure you enter your name in there as well. Hey, we're going to talk to Coach Grizz, strength coach, coming up next year on the Pony Express Show with Rhett Lashley. Welcome back here on the Pony Express Show with Rhett Lashley. Our final edition here, that's scheduled at least for the 2024 season, should let you know that we will have our basketball coaches show beginning next month. Hilltop Hoops, presented by the SMU Cox School of Business, begins on Monday night, December 16th. Right here at Ozona Grill and Bar, 7 o'clock on Monday nights. It'll have both our women's coach, Toya Wilson, and men's basketball coach, Andy Enfield. And a full schedule for the show can be found at SMUMustangs.com. But again, Monday, December 16th at 7 o'clock here on the SMU Mustangs Facebook page. And at Ozona will be our first edition of Hilltop Hoops. Right now on the show, let's talk to our assistant AD for human performance and head football strength coach, Sean Griswold.
Thank you for having me.
We just call him Coach Grizz. It's way easier, right?
Way easier, yeah.
This is a big week for you, right? Going back to Virginia. You were there for 4 years.
Yeah, we were there for 4 years and had some success, and it'll be exciting to go back and go get us a dub.
What's any special meaning for you going back to Virginia this week?
No, my wife asked me the same thing. I tell her, we're the next man up, next game, head down. We've been focused all season since we started in January, and these guys are prepared and ready, and it's just another step, another rock to break.
Yes, we'll talk about the rock breaking here in a moment. What was the connection that brought you here to SMU 3 years ago?
Well, Coach Lashley played for Gus Malzahn, and Gus Malzahn and I were together at Tulsa.
Okay.
And built a relationship there, and just all kinds of players. And, you know, this is year 29 for me, so you kind of have a lot of people in the business, and that's kind of where it started with Coach Malzahn, and I'm blessed to be here for sure.
It's a small world. It's
It
a small
is.
fraternity, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is. You got a lot of new toys to work with this year, I bet, don't you?
Absolutely.
The Weber End Zone Complex, and specifically in the Armstrong Football Center. How much more expansive is your toy box that you have there?
No, you can't even. I don't know how you measure that. That thing's unbelievable. The support from top down, and you know, what I asked for was signed off on. We got what we needed, so we can work at an efficient rate for these guys. So they have a lot of things going on in their day, from training room to practice to film to all the things they have to do to be prepared to be a college student athlete. So for us, it's about efficiency. The things we can do in there, just having the space, it's incredible for us.
That was another thing I was going to ask, how much of a hand you had in it, and is this the first opportunity you've had that kind of hand in putting a thing together like that?
No, I had full say in what went on with the teams that we met with and did those kind of things and how we wanted to do it. I know they took a lot of tours of other places. I was fortunate enough to build Arizona State's as well before we left, and then Virginia's was done before I left, and they just opened theirs as well in August.
Of course, lifting weights is what everybody thinks about first with a strength coach.
Yes.
A lot more that you got, though, right? What else all entails the strength and conditioning coach that you've got to oversee?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a small piece of it. I mean, for me, it always starts with relationships. You've got 120 kids, and you've got however many coaches and staff and support that go along with it, and they all make the thing tick. So for me, it's always been about relationships. That's my why. I don't do it to use people to make better football. I use the football piece to make better people. So that's just kind of where we start with that whole piece.
How much of the workouts for players are universal? How much is tailored by position or maybe even by individual?
Yeah, no doubt about that. We have an older team. That's where the relationship piece comes into. You have to know what Jared Harrison Hunt's like, what Elijah Roberts like, what Junior's like as a senior. You know, the differences are different by position, different by individual. So you have to tailor make those little things. There's some things we're going to all do together, but there's some individualized by position, the way we condition, the things that we do to be as specific as we can to how Coach Lashley runs a practice.
Boy, and then with the portal, it makes your life busier too, right? You got to learn these guys quick.
Yeah, and again, it starts with a relationship piece and knowing them on the recruiting trip and having, a phone number and a conversation and learning a little bit about them, where they're from, what they like, how they do things. These guys will do anything you ask as long as they know you care about them, and that's where the piece starts with the relationship.
Coach Lashley did mention yesterday, I believe it was, in his press conference, that Kevin Jennings still could fill out a little bit more, your quarterback. What are workout goals for him down the road?
I told Kevin like about a month ago, I said, you go and Google and tell me what the lightest quarterback that's ever been drafted. So he came back with that information and said, so now we know the goal.
What was it?
It was Tua or Tunga, and it was like 203 or 198, something like that. So the goals for him are to build up his stature. Obviously, Kevin's really strong pound for pound, and he loves to train, which is a fun and unique aspect for a quarterback that he likes to do everything that we do. He's a leader from top down. He spends breakfast after he gets treatment. He's up with breakfast with us every day and trying to get himself better and heavier and those kind of things. But he's a special talent, and he'll do anything you ask him to do.
And it's not necessarily bulk, but it's probably for durability for him, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now, he's a shifty guy. He's smart. He doesn't take big shots. But, again, durability, mobility, those kind of things are huge for all of them.
You mentioned 29 years you've been doing this. How has the makeup of a high school senior becoming a college freshman, how has their makeup changed over the last 29 years you've been doing this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more. Strength and conditioning has really grown like exponentially over the last 15 to 20, especially for at this level, and then even at the high school level, especially from Texas, Oklahoma, the Louisianas. They have really, really good strength coaches for the most part. So they come to us pretty well knowledgeable about what they do technique-wise and those kind of things. So it's our job to take them from there.
Do you have one-on-ones with every guy that comes in?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time. My office is always open. Guys spend time in there all the time. Kevin and Cam are in there spending 20 minutes every day. So it's just it's a relationship piece where you get to know them a little bit, how they tick and how to motivate them. They're all motivated differently. There's 120 kids. Not everybody's motivated the same way. So
Absolutely.
That's our job to figure that out.
What's a typical training week for guys in season?
In season, our skill guys, they're Mondays and Wednesdays, so everybody trains on Monday. Their big and big skill go Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We break it up a little bit. Thursday, we do just an upper body press and stuff like that and some body armor things with those guys. So they get their workouts in. Freshmen are a completely different program. They go early in the morning. They go before we have practice. So we'd spend time with those guys. Their needs are completely different, whether they're playing or not. Those needs are completely different from the older kids, so we kind of make them a different group so we can spend more time.
There's a big difference between an 18-year-old and a 22-year-old's body too, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's just in growth and age, those things are completely different. So, and then where they've been training. The kids from Miami were very well versed in what they did, and some guys from other schools aren't. It's just a different philosophy in how they do things.
What about on game day? What kind of workout do guys lift on game day? Some guys want to, some guys don't.
There's no lifting involved in that. Elijah Roberts has become a big fan of doing some med ball throws. He feels like he's more prepared for it. He's been lifting before practice, and he's kind of recruited like 9 other D linemen that come before practice, which is kind of a cultural thing, which is a good piece on his leadership part to get those guys to come. But we have that open turf area. A lot of guys get foam rolled, stretching, tons of mobility stuff just to get them ready. Whatever it takes to get them ready is what we're going to do. You
mentioned breaking the rock. You started that in 2008 at Tulsa, is that right?
Yeah.
How did it come about, and what does it mean to your players now?
Yeah, it just becomes a really piece of symbolism when we talk about moving them out. And I put a table card every week at the hotel for them to read, and it's different quotes and different things just that are relative to what that week is, and to stay focused and head down. And it just the rock piece is just it's how do you move a mountain? It's one rock at a time. So don't get focused on the next one. Like this week is just be focused on this Saturday. Nothing else matters. Saturday takes care of itself, then we move to the next one. But symbolizing a win and breaking that rock, we've accomplished our goal, and now they can run with it.
And your wife's involved on that, right?
Oh, yes, and she did not want me to talk about that tonight, but she's right there.
Why didn't she want you to talk about it?
She just wants to stay behind the scenes and do her thing. So.
All right. Well, we'll let you continue to do your thing, and let's hope we see somebody break a rock this Saturday at Virginia. How about it?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
All right, thanks a lot. Sean Griswold, Mustang strength coach, joining us here on the Pony Express Show with Rhett Lashley. We'll talk to the head coach coming up next. Welcome back here to the Pony Express Show with Rhett Lashley. We are here for our last show of the season at Ozona Grill and Bar. Thanks to you joining us here on the SMU Mustangs Facebook page. And let's welcome in the head coach of the 13th ranked SMU Mustangs, Rhett Lashley.
What a crew tonight. Is Junior not awesome? That was awesome. Like hearing him describe the touchdown of like, okay, so I knew I had that one, and then I knew I had that one, and I figured I'd worry about that one when I got there. That was really cool.
He figured it out.
Yeah, and I started getting emotional over there, so I'm glad she came up here with me because I'm not ready for Junior to be done here yet. So,
By the way, this is Scarlett joining us.
This is
on
Scarlett
the show today.
This is the boss. And then, obviously to have Coach Grizz, I mean, he's been incredible. Everything he says is who he is. And, there's the different personalities, right? You got Junior, and then Coach Grizz he's your strength and conditioning coach, right? And since he wasn't allowed to, I didn't get told I couldn't brag on Miss Becca.
Okay.
So she paints every one of those logos for us.
Right.
On those pavers, and we have them every Tuesday to start the week or Monday. And Coach Grizz lays them out when we warm up pre-practice all throughout the week. So our guys see it like that's who the opponent is this week. And so, fortunately, we've broken a lot of them.
I got to say, they're not going to waste this year.
Yeah. So, but she does a great job and super talented. So,
of course, last Saturday, 38-28 win over Boston College. That's 7 straight wins. That's 9-1, 6-0 in the conference. I mentioned 13th. Maybe we should talk more about the coaches. They got us 12th in the coaches poll.
Whatever, man. Just win, baby.
You obviously.
I vote in that one. Maybe I help us out a little bit.
Maybe you do. You've obviously been asked a lot about the CFP. 13th is what we came out again yesterday. I believe that was up a spot this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think they had you on the CFP show last night on ESPN. Yep. Frustration, not so much for SMU, but for the league, right, that you have?
Yeah, I mean, it's incomplete. So it's maybe frustration in the standpoint that if you're going, why are we setting a precedent so early that this league gets this many teams potentially and this league may not. But we really don't know how it's going to turn out. So you have to address it now because it does affect what may happen in 3 weeks. At the same time, in 3 weeks, it may look like we think it should. And so and that's the biggest deal. Yeah, like for us, it's very simple. We are in a position where we are controlling our own destiny. We weren't in that position last year. Mm-hmm. We had to win. We did win. We did everything we could do and were supposed to do. And I think it was pretty obvious the wrong decision was made, and then the facts later probably showed that. But we couldn't control it. Right now, we can control it. And so that's what we have to focus on because, and I did say this last night a little bit and even this evening on an ACC network deal, is like we just have to win, and if not, then we have no argument. But I do believe if we're able to win the next 2 games, and that's a lot to do. I mean, we're a long way from being done. But if we are, then, yeah, we absolutely should be in. There should be no question about it. But we're not there yet.
Yeah.
And so now from a league standpoint, yeah, I take issue with certain people saying, well, this league's going to get this many bids and this league's not, and the data just doesn't support it. We have a winning record against the Big Ten. You know what I mean? Of their 4 teams that are ranked, 3 of them didn't even play a Power 4 non-conference opponent. Didn't even play one. We played 2. And the 3 teams in our league that are ranked, us, Miami, and Clemson, have played 5. They played 1 between 4 of them.
Right.
Like, so there's just a lot of data points that don't make sense. Like, we're behind a team at 12th who's 0-1 against Power 4 opponents, and we're 7-1. So you could drive yourself crazy talking about all that, and that's why I'm like, just make it make sense. It doesn't. But what does make sense is we can control how we play. We can control what we put on the field. And if we do that, I trust the committee will put us in.
And it starts this Saturday, and a win Saturday at Virginia, frankly, I think it's an amazing feat that you'll pull off right there, getting into the conference championship game in your first year.
If we're able to do it, then I'd probably agree with you. We haven't done it yet. So it's hard for me to go there.
Sure.
I'm just being honest.
I get it.
But, yeah, no, it's already an amazing feat what our kids have done. There's never been a team, a program, go from the group of 5 schools to the power schools and go better than 1-1 in their conference just to start. Mm-hmm. And there's never been one have a winning record in their conference in the first year. Well, we're already 6-0. We're going to have a winning record. And so what they've done is special. But we haven't sat around and thought about it that way, and I think Junior would tell you this because, we expected to compete. We expected to do those things. That's what's so special about this group. What makes them so fun to coach, and they respect how hard it's going to be to go to Virginia and find a way to win. They appreciate how hard that's going to be, and they do that every week, and I think that humility allows them to play well each week.
Winning is never easy. I felt like Saturday was a real gut check win for your guys, too. You give up the lead to start the third quarter. You take it right back. You never really, put the game away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But bottom line is when it was winning time, we saw winning plays, especially the last 2 defensive snaps there with sacks.
100%. I mean, it was in one way we actually controlled the entire game. We were in control of the game, but we never put it away. We led 3 different times by 10 and never made it 17. We led 10-0. We led 17-7. We had the issues before half. We turn it over. Our defense gets it back. We go kick a field goal. They go down and score and take the lead, but within 2 minutes we're back ahead. So and then we're up 10 in the fourth quarter. So we never put them away, to your point. We were in total control. But what was really good is our guys do what they do. They just keep playing. And they don't really worry about the scoreboard at that point. They just keep playing. They trust each other. And I thought they were at their best in the most critical moments. You know what I mean? When, quote, everybody should be nervous and tight, our guys played their best. So the lessons to be learned, hey, if you get a chance to put someone away, let's do it. But I was really proud of them. And honestly, like I said after the game, that's how I expected almost every one of our conference games to be.
Right.
And I expect the next 2 to be that way and potentially more. And I think it's good that our guys are comfortable in those situations.
You mentioned that latter part of the first half there. That was a huge moment. I mean, Boston College gets the interception. There's a penalty tacked on. They're starting to get to 15. Man, Wachovia's interception was awesome at the goal line.
Awesome. And there's so many little things that tell the story about a team and a culture and what they're made up of that, even us in the game don't always notice. And if you're watching on TV or if you're a fan and you're living the roller coaster with us, right? So we throw the interception. My fault. Put them in a bad spot. If you go back and watch the film, as soon as that ball's caught, we have 11 guys on offense absolutely insanely desperate to go tackle that guy. Mm-hmm. Insanely desperate. I think Jordan got him on the ground. J.O. went and dove at him. Kevin was everyone. Junior was way down the field. That's who we were throwing it to, actually. He's coming back, and they got him on the ground, okay? Well, that's a big deal because they got him on the ground, didn't let him score. 2 plays later, Isaiah is able to make that play. So all those little things work together, and you just learn a lot about a team and a culture in those moments. And while we don't want to throw interceptions,
sure,
that's a winning culture and a winning mentality, and that's what those guys have.
And then you do all right, we'll hand it off, and if we break something, then we'll see if we can do something. And Brashard Smith does just that with a 45-yard run.
As if the play before on the interception doesn't take – I don't like to take a knee at halftime. So it just seems a little like we're leaving something out there, right? And how many times last year and this year we handed it off or thrown a pass and popped one, and now we get a chance at a field goal. And, we did feel like we were going to run it the second time to be a little more conservative. But we felt good about it, and, of course, it was the same run that he scored on against Pitt, the long one, just a different formation. And, maybe if he just ran straight, we got a field goal out of it. And that was a big play because that did swing the momentum. You're thinking with 50 seconds left after the pick, we're probably going to be down or tied at halftime, and the next thing you know, we're up 6 instead of 3. That was a big deal.
It was essentially at least a 6, if not a 10-point swing,
yeah,
and you win the game by 10.
There you go.
Massive moment right there. Kobe Wilson named the ACC Linebacker of the Week with a mere 16 tackles, a pass breakup, and he had the next to last sack of the game. Massive afternoon for him.
He was busy.
Very.
And, it was an incredible performance by him, but, really all 3 of our linebackers, Kobe, Ahmad, and Kilgore, we had to play a lot more 3 linebacker sets. So normally we're 2 in the game at a time, so those 3 can rotate and stay fresh throughout the game. Well, because of the way Boston College played that old school pound-it football, we had to sub and play with more 3 linebackers. So for those guys to do that and not get rested as much is incredible. But I just think Kobe and Ahmad, specifically the 2 senior linebackers, but Kobe's more of a vocal leader, but those 2 guys have been so good last year and this year, and they've just kind of been the glue that holds that defense together.
That was, by the way, 16 tackles, the most by a Mustang since 2013.
Randall Joyner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I texted him the next day. I'm like, hey, man.
Hey.
He did say Kobe's better than him. Those are his words, not mine.
Randall was pretty good, though.
I know.
Randall was. And has tied for the 6th most tackles since 2000.
It's a lot of tackles.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially not playing against, like, Navy or something. But BC runs – it's a non-traditional offense today.
Yeah.
20 years ago, it was a little more traditional, but big offensive line. They have 3 good running backs, too, I thought. That was a tough group.
They had a big O-line. That was probably our toughest matchup defensively that we're going to see, at least thus far, just because of that. They're huge. It wasn't like we were still the more physical team Saturday. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But they're so big, and the way they have longer edges, they have tight ends and all that. Their old 3 yards in a cloud of dust mentality, they're cool with. I'm not patient enough for that stuff, so we don't do that. But the whole idea was, they're going to continue to move forward, and it's hard to get negative plays. It's hard to get them in 2nd and 3rd and long, and so it allowed them to stay really efficient, and it just wears on you. And it's just hard. Like, you can fit it right and still they're in a good position. And I thought the quarterback played well for them. Yeah. We missed some opportunities early on some long-yarded situations. So, it was a tough challenge, and our guys responded to it.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I thought yours was outstanding Saturday. Especially in the first half, there must have been 4 or 5 plays where at the end of it I said that was an unbelievable play by Kevin. Moving around the pocket and either throwing on the run or setting and throwing. Some of those plays 1 year ago, he's probably taken off, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably. To your point, there was 3 or 4 plays in the first half, a lot in the first quarter, where you kind of were like, wow, the play's still going, And, the first one on the second drive where it's a bootleg, the end runs up the field. He just dips underneath and fires a ball to, I think, Moochie or Keyshawn. And then a big 3rd down. Their defensive end, number 6, was second in the league in sacks. We had no sacks in the game. And a lot of that was because, hey, we got beat on one, and he just spins out of it, runs around, and fires a dart to Moochie on the scramble drill. And then the touchdown to Roderick, it is a design play, but it's, not easy to be running left and throw the ball. And so the things he did were pretty special. And, I think that's a big reason why we're being successful.
And threw a dime then to Jordan Hudson on his touchdown,
too. It's one thing to get a guy open. It's another thing to hit him, and he did.
And he's getting high praise from Nick Saban.
I know. I need Nick to calm it down a little bit.
Wait a minute. How many SMU quarterbacks do you think Nick Saban has known the name of?
Probably one.
It is pretty awesome, though,
pretty cool
when it shows up on game day.
I know. It's great. It's really cool. I know it's cool for him. And look, I love what Coach Saban and Kirk Herbstreit have said in the last few weeks. They get it. Mm-hmm. Even Urban Meyer last week said, hey, the Mustangs are legit. They're for real. Coaches get it. They watch ball. They know it. And so it's good respect for Kevin, for our team, from those guys. And so, I think the praise is warranted.
Brashard Smith, his 6th 100-yard game of the season, 3rd in a row. He's the 12th player in SMU history to run for 1,000 yards, and it's the 20th time it's been done by only 12 different players. And the first of 5 years. Pretty special, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and I put Junior in charge of Brashard. He's Brashard's kind of wingman. Yeah, it keeps him in line. No, they're he's been special. I thought Coach Cooper and Coach Foster did a really good job early in the season, of not giving him 20 carries a game in the first few games. Because you got to build your stamina up as if you've never played running back to 10 carries, to 15 carries, to 20. And now the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been anywhere from 18 to 26 carries. Mm-hmm. And he's done a nice job of building to that. But, yeah, he's special. When you can be explosive on base run plays, that opens up the rest of your offense. And it's funny, you go back to our first year. Last year we had good balance, but still, even going into the first half of this year, people were not letting us throw the ball, especially one-on-one down the field, and daring us to run. And now they've all adjusted back to the way it's now we got to stop 1 and 7 and 11 and those guys, and now you're getting the one-on-ones on the outside again. And so that's what you want as an offense, to have the balance to, hey, you guys want to give us the run or the pass today, and we have the ability to take whichever you give us. Having a running back like that makes the line better, makes the quarterback's job easier, and gets the one-on-ones for those guys on the outside. I
keep looking down at my depth chart each week, and I'm going, man, we're losing guys. We got 4 wide receivers, basically, 2 running backs playing. Left tackle went out last week. Elijah didn't play. And I was thinking, back in August, we were like, man, I got all this depth. And it's great because you could rotate guys in September and maybe October.
Yep.
But the reason you have depth is because here in November, you're still plugging in guys that can play for you.
Yeah, I mean, last week Elijah couldn't go. That's a big deal for our defense, not just because Elijah's a great player, but he's one of our leaders. But we have Cam Robertson just to step right up. And, Cam's been a co-starter all year and played excellent for us. And so then you look at Savion gets dinged up right before half. Savion has to come out. Well, all we do is put Andrew Chambly in there, who started the first few games of the year. So, having that depth is big, and our guys buying into that. It's hard, and everybody wants to play, and we do our best to play a lot of guys. But, guys are ready. They're prepared. They cheer for the guy when he's in, and they're not, and then they're ready when it's their time. And that's what good teams do, and our guys have done that well.
Different spot, but at D-tackle, Mike Lockhart's got a little more run the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I thought he had a great play
Big
just
sack.
to seal the edge on one, and then he come up with a sack on
Yeah.
another one. It's good to see, again, your depth guys come through.
Correct, and you just never know which guy it's going to be each game that comes up with some big plays, and so far that's been a good formula for us.
Savion doing well this week, I think you said
Yeah,
yesterday?
Savion he's been at practice both days. He's not 100%, but it wasn't serious. I think he'll be game time decision as far as I don't know if he'll start. Chambly's preparing to start, but he's getting reps, and I think we'll have them both available. It's just that time of year,
Yeah.
Nobody's going to feel good. Nobody's going to feel 100%. If you can go, you go. And the reality of it is, though, Virginia's guys feel the same way.
Yeah, they got plenty too, I know. And Elijah.
Elijah was back at practice today, actually. He didn't practice yesterday. He got cleared. He practiced today, and he looked like 5 to me.
All right. Well, it is this Saturday the Mustangs play their last road game at Virginia. It is an 11 a.m. kick. It's on ESPN2. I'll have it on 96.7 and 1310 The Ticket, as well as Sirius XM Channel 194. The Boulevard will be back one more time next week. Simplify your tailgate planning and upgrade your game day at the biggest SMU games this season. Full-service tailgates are selling fast. Contact Rebel XP at 214-935-1683 or SMU at rebelxp.com for more information. Time here for our Ask the Coach feature. It's brought to you by the SMU Cox School of Business. They offer top-ranked MBA programs designed for every stage of your career, whether you're just starting out or ready to move to the C-suite. Find out your fit in one of our flexible part-time, in-person, or online programs. Now accepting applications for spring 2025 entry. Apply at smu.edu/cox/Pony Express.
Kevin, good
Kevin
to
here.
see you. I think the last time I was here, I don't know if I saw you. Just calling you out.
He was here last week and didn't see you.
Fair. Thanks,
Go.
Rich.
How about that, huh?
He didn't have a mic. He wasn't going to be able to fire back, but he had your back. Very true.
Got it.
Touche.
Hey, he sponsored the basketball show too. I got to stay tight with Kevin.
I get it. I get it.
All right, first up here, how is the December portal date impacting a culture in a football locker room? Because the portal opens December 9th.
Yeah. Well, you should have probably asked Junior how it affects the culture in the locker room. But that's a great question. I mean, and right now we're going to be playing. We've got games still going on, and so whether it's bowl games or whatever the postseason look like. So that's the challenge. It's different, Signing day for high school is on December 4th, so the high school guys can sign on the 4th, and then the 9th, which is 2 days after championship game Saturday, the portal opens, and it's open from the 9th to the 28th. Well, I mean, no other sport has free agency during the season but us, and I actually think it's not fair to the guys. And here's what I mean by that. Guys that aren't done with their eligibility, right now, we're competing for a conference championship. So that's important. That's important to all our guys. It's what they should be focused on. But now they're starting to get help from everybody on the outside, whether it's their family, whether it's agents, whether it's other schools, whatever. And, they're trying to focus on this, but then they also got to deal with that, and it doesn't allow them to be present and without all those distractions. The portal's fine, but, let's do it after the season and give them some time to focus on that. And that's my opinion. I don't know. I mean, I actually do. I'm looking at it from the player's perspective. For us, we gotta recruit high school guys. We got to recruit our own guys to want to stay, and we got to go out and add value to the team because guys like Junior that are ancient, they're going to move on, and so there's a lot going on. But let's just say we're able to win a few more games, and we're still in big moments there, and then the portal opens. Why? School teams are going to be playing in the playoffs. Teams are going to be ready for bowl games. Let them focus on that, and then worry about if they want to transfer later. But nobody asked me.
Well, it's like with the high school kids, too. A lot of those kids that are getting recruited, They're still playing too, December 4th, right?
Correct. But their process is different. They weren't here. Their process happened for 2 or 3 years. They've had all spring and summer. They've taken all their visits. So that it's similar, but it is a little different. Now, I get it. If a team goes 5-7, they don't make a bowl game, then, yeah, they probably do want to hop in a portal and figure it out. But
next up, at this time of the season, do you feel you see more injuries among players?
I don't know. I don't know, Grizz, if you do. I don't notice it. Yeah, there you go. I don't think so. I've never noticed a difference beginning, middle, end of year. Football's it's a physical, violent sport. We all that have played it, and the guys, they know that. That's part of it. And yeah.
This is not my question. This is an ask the coach question. What's the current obsession with black uniforms?
There's no obsession with black uniforms. We wear them once a year, and we're undefeated in them.
Yeah, we are.
So, I mean, ask Junior. Junior, do you like the black uniforms? Favorite ones? So the target market for me is the guys on my team and the guys we're recruiting to be on our team.
Absolutely.
And they like the black uniforms. So guess what we're going to do every year? We're going to wear the black uniforms. And hopefully we continue to win in them. Look, I think we have the best uniform in college football. The SMU blue homes, I love it with the pony on the helmet. The road whites, which we get to wear this week, I love it. Like, we have the best colors. Like, everything is awesome. So we're always going to respect that and wear that like crazy. But just about every school has an alternate uniform these days, whether it's Tennessee or Georgia or A&M or Miami. They all have a black uniform. So it's cool. It's fun for the guys. They look good. And I get it if you're a traditionalist or something. I can tell by your question you're not a fan of it. That's okay. No, it's okay, Rich. I know you and Rick had a conversation last week. No, it's good.
I'm fully in support of it.
I know.
The only thing I don't like is the dark blue numbers on the black jersey.
But they're actually not dark blue. They're light blue, and they pop, and they look really good.
They don't pop from the 5th floor.
Well, I can get you a new set of glasses. So, anyways, that's a fair point. I just, like I said, there's definitely no obsession with it, but you heard the man back there. It's his favorite one.
I'm perfectly fine with the blacks.
Okay.
I would say let's get the numbers
I heard that. I heard it. So you like the blue Dallas.
The blue Dallas is my favorite because it's the only one we have that has shoulder pad numbers. Frankly, actually, my favorite is white jersey, blue pants.
It looks good, doesn't
with
it?
the blue face mask,
yeah,
too.
I love that. I think it pops.
But if we had numbers here, it'd be even better.
We'll put it in consideration for you.
Or here. That's real old school on the side of the sleeves, though. But
well, I mean, it's 2024. Soon they'll be able to run. There'll be like a hologram on the ground of their number and shining somewhere.
It would help me a lot if we could do things like that. So I'm trying to keep everybody updated and trying.
For all of you who don't like the black uniforms, I'm sorry. You can definitely send emails and tell me how much you don't like it, and I appreciate and respect it, and we're going to wear it once a year.
I know this. For all the consternation about it last week, there were an awful lot of people in the stands wearing black.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hey, you know, when it just goes to that, our fans, I mean, every week we talk about it, but, like, it's huge what's happening on game days at Ford Stadium. And, yes, our players, the way they're performing and winning helps that, but the fans have to show up, and they do, and they were loud. In the fourth quarter, we needed them. The game was in doubt. They were there. Those last 3 or 4 plays when our defense was out there, it was so loud. And then when we have to get them to be quiet after we stop them, that's awesome.
I saw Kevin do that at one point.
I'm on the deal. I'm like, hey, Kevin, get them to quiet down. So he's like doing this, you know. They'll listen to him, so that's good. And so, but like, hey, we're at Ford Stadium, and we have our quarterback having to do this.
I don't think I've seen that.
That's awesome.
That is great.
And so if we're all black, all blue, all red, all white, I don't really care. It was awesome.
Go 9-1. It's all good, right? We like them all. You do have one more chance to see the Mustangs at home next Saturday against Cal in the regular season finale. That is just announced, by the way, this week. 2:30 kick next Saturday. It's on ESPN2, and I will have it on the ticket as well. Let's get to our Meet the Enemy segment.
And before you do that, since you went there, I get it. It's Thursday's Thanksgiving, and our kids are out of school. Regardless of what happens Saturday, that Cal game's a huge game. Mm-hmm. And so if you can go eat your turkey somewhere, wherever it is on Thursday, and do whatever you want Friday, you can even, in a lot of cases, come back Saturday because it's a 2:30 kick. We need Ford rocking on Saturday after Thanksgiving. It needs to be the same way it's been. We already have students taking tickets. I know we're doing a lot of things for students. I know it's inconvenient on a holiday weekend, but you know what? Let's make it inconvenient for Cal.
Look, sports happen on the holidays.
Amen.
Let's do it.
Let's do
I
it.
love being a part of it.
We got a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, we do.
Let's do it at Ford.
Let's do it. All right, Meet the Enemy here, brought to you by Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue with the best patio in town and happy hour from 4 to 7 every Sunday through Friday. Specials including free chips and salsa. Ozona Grill and Bar, find your comfort zone. It's 11 a.m. this Saturday at Virginia. They're 5-5, 3-3 in the league. Lost at Notre Dame last week. Not a lot of shame in that. This is our third opponent who played Notre Dame the week before. I've watched a lot of Notre Dame this year.
How about that? You're
Duke
right.
and,
No, you're right.
Stanford and Louisville had done it. So I've seen a lot of them. They're pretty darn good. 2 weeks ago, though, this team won at 23rd ranked Pitt. So they definitely are dangerous for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Calandria's been a really good quarterback for him this year. He's dangerous. It's what he can do with his legs and throwing the football. They got some really good wideouts. Defensively, they've actually done a really nice job. You know, they've turned the ball over at times and put them in tough spots, but to your point, you know, the week after we played Pitt, they go up to Pitt and hold them to 19 points and win on the road. Big deal. You know, I think back to earlier in the year, they played Boston College at home. They beat them at home by 10, same margin we had on them. Held them to 65 yards rushing. So, like, they're they're probably the most improved team in our league, honestly. And Tony Elliott's as good as they come in our business. He's just an awesome person. He's in it for the right reasons. And now he's in year 3 of their system, and you can tell they're starting to turn the corner with what they want to do there.
You guys both had the same start to your tenures. He was hired right at the end of the 21 season. You were hired right at the end of the 21 season. SMU and Virginia were supposed to play in the bowl game, in the Fenway Bowl that year.
That's right.
And neither one of y'all were going to coach,
which
was probably the best decision, and ended up nobody coached it.
Yeah,
game got
you're
canceled
right.
by COVID.
Yeah,
so.
he had been the OC at Clemson, and you know, just my time at both Auburn and Miami when he was at Clemson, became decent friends with him. I just, like I said, I got a lot of respect for him.
You mentioned their quarterback, Anthony Calandria. He did get benched at halftime last week after a rough end of the first half, but 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's run for 282. He's played a ton of football because he stepped in last season for them too.
He has, and like I said, they've at times they've been inconsistent, and so that's why. But they've been really good at times, and I mean really good. And so, you know, and they're in a position where they're 5-5. They've got us at home, and they got their rival on the road, Virginia Tech, and they're playing for postseason play just like Boston College was last week. So it's their last home game at Senior Day. We're going to get their best, and they're dangerous. I mean, they really are. They should have beat Louisville at home, lost by 4. They beat BC at home. You know, they've proven – that Clemson game was really tight through 3 quarters at Clemson. So, like, they've proven that they're pretty good.
Do you have to prepare some for Tony Muskett, their backup, who did come in last week?
I think you got to prepare for anything. I mean, I would be really shocked if Calandria is not the guy. I mean, he turned it over 3 times in the first half. It was getting out of hand. They made a switch at halftime. But he's been their guy all year. He's been really good for them. He's exactly who I expect us to see. But, yeah, we could probably see them both, and we got to be ready for anything.
Big-time target for him, too. Malachi Fields, 47 catches, 746 yards. And he's not just big-time, big.
He's
6'5". He's pretty dynamic.
They got really good receivers. They got big outside guys. They got a slot that runs a 10-5, good speed. And, like I said, a quarterback that can hurt you with his legs and throwing it and is kind of a playmaker. I mean, some of the things we see Kev do, he can do those things. And then on defense, they're really long, and they when you turn on defensive film, you see a defense that plays hard and runs to the football and is physical. That's the first step, and they do that.
All due respect to your guys, is Jonas Sanker the best safety in the league?
I'm not going to say he's better than our guys, but he's a really good safety, and he may be the best one we've played this year.
Yeah.
He's a really good safety. He kind of plays that boundary spot like Isaiah Wacobia does for us. He's athletic. He can cover in man-to-man. He makes tons of tackles. And their defense is kind of wired to let him be a playmaker for him, and he does that. So, no, I got a ton of respect for him.
You mentioned it. You know, they got this game, and then next week they're at Virginia Tech. They haven't been to a bowl game since 19. They've got a lot of motivation here on Saturday, don't they?
Tons. And proud program. And like I said, I mean, what stands out to them, and it always kind of has they've got length and they've got size. They play the game the right way. And really they're playing with a lot of confidence, and I don't expect Saturday to be any different.
All right, before we wrap it up, somebody's got to draw a name.
You going to say anything? Ooh, you going to draw a name for us?
You going to draw a name for us for who wins the football here?
Ooh, someone's going to like you. A lot of people won't. You want to give it to him, and he'll – There we go.
All right. Ken Randolph, straight back, wins the autographed football.
All right.
Brett Lashley. We used to know him as Captain Selfie, by the way. He used to fly us
Captain
back
Selfie.
in the day. Captain Selfie. There you go, Ken.
I devalued that thing on the front.
Ooh.
Congratulations, Ken, and Ken here most every week as well. Thanks to all of you who are here. Many of you are here every single Wednesday night. I trust many of you will be back Monday, December 16th, when we'll have our first edition of Hilltop Hoops with Toyelle Wilson and Andy Enfield. Yeah, you mentioned big one next week still with Cal. Next Saturday at 2:30 at Ford Stadium, so be sure you're there. If you don't have tickets, 214-SMU-GAME or SMUMustangs.com. Big one Saturday at Virginia, too.
They're all big this time of year, and the way our guys have played, they've just put ourselves in position for them to matter. So proud of them. Thank y'all. I mean, this year it's been awesome. I don't know if this is the last time we get to be together, but no matter what, thank you. And hey, I know we will. Let's support Andy and Toyelle the same way that we have Ford Stadium, because I think Moody could be rocking. And you know what? Florida State came into Ford Stadium and didn't go well, so Duke's going to show up to Moody at some point. And why
They'll
not?
be here in January, as a matter of fact. We look forward to that. All right, so 11 a.m. Saturday, ESPN2, 96.7, 1310 The Ticket, Sirius XM 194 is where our radio broadcast will be. Yeah, likewise, thanks to everybody who's come out every week, and we appreciate you being here at the Pony Express Show with Rhett Lashley. Let's all pony up.
The Pony Show with head coach Rhett Lashley has been presented by SMU Cox School of Business, your ally for life, and hosted at Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue. Find your comfort zone. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Mustang Sports Network.